Multi-million-dollar lawsuit is being announced in a deadly police shooting. The family of Anthony Lowe, a double amputee, says Huntington Park officers murdered him. KTLA's Alina Bovian in Huntington Park now with the latest. Alina, good morning.
Jessica, good morning. Well, you can see right here behind us, we are set up for this press conference with the family. The family is unfortunately running late, but we're told they have already filed paperwork for this lawsuit. They've started the legal process, and I have with me their attorneys. This is Christian Contreras and Mr. Austin Dove. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
What would you like to say on behalf of the family while we wait for them?
Well, let's make this clear. What we saw that day, what is on video, is a clear murder. Mr. Lowe was murdered that day, and he was running away. He was not a threat. On his stumps, a disabled man killed in broad daylight. And when this happens to the community, when this happens to people in our city, it doesn't only affect the family. It affects his entire city, his entire nation, and it creates this ripple effect that doesn't allow us to heal, doesn't allow us to continue with our lives. And it's trauma after trauma after trauma, and it must end. There is this cycle, this vicious cycle that puts us in this hurt, in this trauma that needs to end. So that murder needs to be accounted for, and we're here for accountability, and we're here for justice for the family.
What you're seeing now is a video, cell phone video of this incident, which happened last week. It was the 1900 block of Slauson here in Huntington Park. And the story is, according to the police officers, they responded based on a suspect wanted for a stabbing. They came across Mr. Lowe, and he was armed with a knife. And according to the police officers, multiple times he tried to attack them with that knife. Mr. Lowe was tased twice, and according to the police officers, that tactic was not successful. So that is why they resulted to shooting Mr. Lowe. What do you have to say as far as the surveillance video goes?
Well, I mean, the surveillance video shows you the whole story. You can see it as plain as day. Here's a person disabled with literally no legs below the knee. He can't move quickly. There's no one near him. No one's even close enough to him for him to pose a threat to someone else. The space between him and the officers is what the officers are doing to close into him. So to the extent that they were afraid of him is because they created that. There were so many other options. Lethal force is a last resort. There's no reason you pull out guns, fire and shoot a person who's disabled, who can't even move, whose wheelchair is a few feet behind him, and you shoot that person 11 times as they're moving away from the officers.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for speaking with us. Again, the family is expected to speak at this press conference sometime this morning. At this point, the Sheriff's Department has not released any information. They also have not released that surveillance video from one of the businesses in that neighborhood. As far as body cameras, we're told that Huntington Park Police, they do not wear body cameras, and the officers for now have been placed on administrative leave, paid leave, and that is common protocol during a situation like this. I'll send it back to you.